All right, so we are live. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Failed Journalist. Let me try to get away from that light for a minute there. Sorry, last minute live stream idea, just we were having such a good lazy day too, and then I saw this. So, anyway, I've had a very interesting relationship with former anime voice actor. That might change someday in the future, who knows, but for the time being, he's pretty much blackballed from the industry, Vic Mignogna. Now, I've been a fan of his work. I mean, I have no problem saying that. I'm a fan of Kevin Spacey's work. Doesn't mean I'm a fan of the man. I have met Vic Mignogna a couple times. He's been on my channel. He's been very nice to me, but some of the things he's been accused of has also been troubling. Personally, this is what my belief, I've always been in favor of the Vic Mignogna Funimation lawsuits because I also, while I am disturbed by the allegations against Vic Mignogna, I'm not really satisfied with Funimation's response either. It was always a little fishy, so I actually think court is the best place for situations like this because you can actually hash out the evidence, look at what's going on, and a judge can decide who's right and who's wrong. Now, that case is currently in appeals. All the charges were dismissed the first time. I've seen lawyers basically say that he probably had a case, but that it was argued really poorly. That's fine. I don't know. Right now, the charges are dismissed. They're up for appeal. So hopefully we'll get an answer to that. But for some reason, I'm still on Twitter, and I did not expect Vic Mignogna to be trending again. And he's trending again because of a video that was taken. We're going to show this video real quick. It's probably not the best quality based on this, but it's also a way so that we can talk about this without, getting flagged. So here's the video, and this is what was said. So anyway, that's obviously got the Twitter hive really, really upset. A lot of Vic Mignognas, and what a disgraceful thing. This guy is making a tasteless joke during COVID-19. He's not helping the situation. He should be encouraging people to wear their masks. And, this is one of those situations where it's a lot more nuanced than it looks. Now, before we go too much farther, what do I think of the joke itself? I think it's in poor taste. I do. I don't think it's particularly funny. It doesn't strike me as malicious per se. It strikes me as he's trying to ease the room, but it was probably not the right joke to be doing, although no one there seemed to care. So, that's my opinion on the joke. I just find it interesting, the reaction. I'm always finding things like this interesting. How people are always quick to crucify a joke first and then the actions later. Now, as some people pointed out later on, Mignogna did not appear to be wearing a mask, even when interacting with fans. That's wrong. He should be wearing a mask. In my opinion, he should be wearing that mask. I think, now, on stage, that's one thing. He says he's 20 feet away. He's got a microphone. So you know what? I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt on that one. If you're on stage, you don't need to be wearing the mask. But when it's time to sign autographs, take pictures, unless you're going to be standing quite a bit away, you should be wearing a mask for all those photos and everything. But here's what's kind of bothering me. That's not even the problem for a lot of people. For a lot of people, it's the fact that he joked about COVID-19. He made fun of the pandemic. He made fun of all these people dying. And no, I don't think that was it. You know what we do during pandemics, times of great suffering, times of loss? We joke about things. I heard my first Osama bin Laden joke 3 days after 9/11. I mean, we're talking about tasteless jokes. I mean, look, if you're offended by tasteless jokes, you got to stop watching things like Family Guy. To a certain extent, The Simpsons is a little tasteless these days. South Park, moving away from animation. The Office, Seinfeld, Two and a Half Men, maybe even The Big Bang Theory. There's a lot of shows out there that have tasteless jokes, and if they're allowed to make them, then Vic Mignogna can make them too. You don't have to find them funny, but he's allowed to make those jokes too. Also, I mean, there was one line in there when someone says Super Saiyans don't need to wear masks, and he's like, well, Super Saiyan, yeah, well, maybe Broly's not a very good villain then. Which is kind of a hint that, you know, he was trying not to completely diminish the importance of the masks, but he was making a joke, and that was the point when it turned. It's like, well, look, you know, hey, look, I'm 20 feet away from you, you're there, like, you know, this is good social distancing, right? So, like I said, I think what's happened here is it was a joke. It didn't land. I didn't think it was funny. I don't think he should have made that joke. If it's true, if the photos, and here's the thing, they are photos. Oh, sorry. I keep forgetting. The automated light. If he was truly not wearing his mask the whole time, then he should have been. But I'm really sick and tired of a culture that says, oh, you made a joke that offends me. Cancel. Just cancel that person. You know who also made an offensive and tasteless jokes this week? Jim Galifianakis, or that guy who used to be Colonel Sanders. He did a 15-minute F-word laced tirade against Trump supporters that was tasteless. I personally thought it was funny, but it was tasteless. And that's the problem once you start going like, you can't make a tasteless joke. Because then it's like, well, if you can't make fun of this, then you can't make fun of that. I subscribe to the South Park theory. Either everything is okay to make fun of, or nothing's okay to make fun of. I believe that to be true. I don't believe anyone should be off limits. At worst, people won't find you funny, and you won't get work if, you know, your jokes are really that bad. But again, the fact that Vic Mignogna's bad joke was what drew the ire of Twitter, and then the fact that he might not be wearing the mask at a convention afterwards was the second nature. That's where I think the real problem is. So, do I think this joke was funny? No, not really. Do I think he should have made it? You know what? I personally wouldn't have made it, or I might have worded it differently, but it's up to him. That's not my call. Is Twitter justified in being upset at the joke? In a way, yes. They are allowed to be upset about the joke if they want to be. Should we cancel him because of it? Now, granted, he's already canceled in a sense, but no, you should not cancel anyone for making a bad joke. I don't believe that. So, yeah, that's my complicated reaction to this thing. I mean, the funny thing is, people have started showing like screenshots of things that like Jamie Markey and stuff were saying on Twitter and saying like, well, what about this? And people were like, I think you're missing the sarcasm in her words. It's like, yeah, I think you're missing the sarcasm in Vic Mignogna. I mean, it's like, I don't think this is a situation where the joke was really that offensive to most people. I found it mildly offensive. I think the situation is that people just frankly don't like the guy, and he made a joke that they didn't like, and so they're after me. And that's what I think happened, personally. And those are my 2 cents on it. But I would like to know what you think about it. Comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. And as always, Flame responsibly. Have a good one.